Hey there, we'll spend a few minutes here and give some explanations about the notes that we have on early man as we transition from how to study history to some actual historical content. It's important to understand that we like to look for written records, but when you're talking about early man, there was no writing, so we're looking for other evidences, fossils, artifacts, things of that nature to help us put together the story here. There's a lot of suspects when you start talking about early man, and what did they look like? Where did they come from? None of them were this guy, my favorite early man, Captain Caveman. But when you start looking at the list, and we have a list here on our notes, if you'll take a look, you can see that they all have some type of development. Everything from the Australopithecines, which were well over 3 million years ago in Africa with simple tools, all the way up to the Neanderthals, who had the capacity to bury their dead with some idea about an afterlife, even making clothes out of animal skins there. Even the modern humans, the Homo sapiens sapiens, which really is us, and they will develop into transition from that hunter-gatherer type mentality of survival into actually stabilizing some agricultural output there. So what happened to all these prior humans prior to the Homo sapiens sapiens? Well, they died out because they couldn't handle the environment, or their skill sets weren't available to deal with the circumstances that they were being faced with. They couldn't compete. Their survival skills weren't there. So when we start looking at the modern human living in an age, living in a time, we start with what is called the Paleolithic era. The Paleolithic era, the word Paleolithic, old, paleo, and then lithic is stone. So this is an old stone age. This is where the tools will be made out of stone. Notice that they're nomadic. What does that mean? They're following the herds. They're following wherever the food takes them. There's not a lot of stability there as far as having a house. But you will see the use of fire. Men and women will have developed roles, their importance within the group. And there's even some artistic ability. People are always wanting to tell their story, whether they're writing it down, whether they're videoing it and putting it on YouTube, or even painting it on a wall somewhere on a piece of rock. There's always this capacity to tell the story. Moving on, the Neolithic Revolution. Neo is new, and of course lithic again is stone. We're going to transition now into a newer stone age. We're still using stone tools, but now we're domesticating crops and animals, which is good for the humans, probably not so good for the animals maybe. The domestication will allow some stability. It'll allow for people to plant some roots and stay in one place. This agricultural revolution, this growing of crops, is going to provide the outlet for us to actually see civilization develop. During this Neolithic revolution, people are going to live in villages. They're going to store their materials. You can see all this on your notes. The tools are getting better. But notice how trade is going to begin to develop. And when you start trading, you start trading what is best. And you're going to try to specialize in what you're good at. Maybe I'm a good basket weaver. Maybe I'm good at working with the crops. Maybe you're going to start focusing your attention on those skills to enhance your trade capabilities. This is going on during the Neolithic Revolution. The end of the Neolithic Revolution is marked by a new material, bronze, which is stronger. It is going to be better to make the tools with, more durable. You can see that. And this, of course, is the Bronze Age. So, as civilization develops, you've got a list here. There's 6 things that we're going to recognize that are going to be impacted by this civilization. Look at the cities, and each of them kind of builds on the other. Cities are going to grow. There's going to be a need with more people living close together. They're going to need government. They want some explanations as to what's going on around them. The religion then will develop. Social structures will be cast there. People will, where are you in the hierarchy of power? They're going to even create writing systems. Notice that the writing systems aren't initially developed in order to tell stories, but really to keep track of the trade and keep track of the output of, say, agriculture. Later on, they'll begin expressing themselves. So I hope this has been a good explanation of what some early man looked like as we're developing towards the civilization that we're going to be studying. Thank you.